Well, where are we today? If you said Honister Slate Mine, you would be right. So we're back at the Honister Slate Mine. We've been here before. We've been here for 3 or 4 times now over the last 2 or 3 years. We've got low cloud. Again, it promises, well, it makes a suggestion of lifting or maybe clearing, and I hope it does. I've been really torn this morning whether to hike around Lake Buttermere or have a go at Haystacks from the slate mine. Again, with photography in mind, Buttermere may be the best choice as far as capturing maybe images of the trees, the lake, the reflections, and so on. A bigger challenge is Haystacks. But into the cloud again, that again eliminates pretty much all of the photographic opportunities. But it does suggest it might lift. I keep seeing a little brightness here and there. Gary here with Gary Clayton Photography. Welcome to my YouTube channel. So yeah, I think we're going to set up on the hike, and I think we're going to have a go at Haystacks today from the Honister Slate Mine. Let's see what images we can capture today. Let's see what adventures we can find. Let's go. Okay, the trail begins. One thing about a lot of climbs here in the Lake District, especially from places in the northern lakes, I've noticed, Honister Slate Mine for one, whenever you start a walk, regardless of whatever it is, be it Haystacks, Great Gable, whatever, it's hard going right at the beginning. It's pretty much straight up for the first, well, quite a ways anyhow, which makes the beginning of the hike extremely difficult. And then generally speaking, they ease off a little bit after that. It's just something I've noticed. Just take a look back at the mine base behind me, and a little look at the beginning of the trail ahead. Okay, let's go. Let's see if we can make it to the top of Haystacks today. We've reached the first kind of flat plateau after really quite a steep climb out of the mine. One of my fears seems to be materializing, and that is we are going to be in the clouds. I was hoping the clouds are going to lift and break. As of yet, that's definitely not the case. If you can see ahead of us, there's quite a bit of these mountaintops way up in the clouds. So that could be a problem. Secondly, about another kilometer down this trail, there's a river, a rapids kind of stream. One of the guides at the mine told me, with all the rain we've been having lately, that could be just a raging torrent. And as I know, the problem is we have to cross that to continue towards Haystacks. Before we do cross that though, we do encounter the Dubs Hut Bothy. So that is a place of interest. The last time I was there, the outside was covered in scaffolding. This time, hopefully that's changed. But hey, it is raining, but not hard. It is a beautiful view. But as you can imagine, on a clear day, it's absolutely stunning. Okay, let's keep going. Progressing along the trail, it's a very rocky kind of trail. It's exactly the kind of trail I like. It's a very rugged kind of landscape. Very rocky, very craggy. And again, that's exactly the kind of landscape I like. Right at this moment, I feel like I'm actually in heaven. It's just an amazing trail for me anyhow. I really enjoy this particular trail. we're heading down here right now into the valley. But at the top of the valley is where we'll encounter the Dubs Bothy. So we're going to stop there first. I'd really like to get the drone up around the Dubs Bothy. It is still raining, or there's rain in the air. I'm not 100% sure. See what happens. And the winds have backed down today. It's still windy, but nothing like it has been all week. All week we've had horrendous winds. But here today, it's back down. The weatherman said the winds will back down this whole week. Unfortunately, I'm not going to be around these parts this whole week. I'm moving on, but still, absolutely beautiful. Wow. Whoa. Some of these rocks, very slippy. I do recommend good boots, by the way, for this kind of terrain. I am using Morels. These are courtesy of my two wonderful daughters, Karina and Amanda. They bought me these for Christmas a couple of years ago. And this type of hiking is exactly what these particular boots are built for. And they have a great ankle support built in. So hey, thank you to my girls, but anyhow. Okay, the Bothy should be just over what we can now see as this slate kind of pathway, if you will. This is where mine kind of equipment would be moved around and up and down and so on back in the day, but anyhow. Oh, just over the top, I could see the top of the Bothy. Okay. So right now, as we come along past this kind of dry shale wall, we now see the Bothy. Now this one's the Dubs Bothy, so we can just see it over there. Last time I was here, as I said, there was lots of scaffolding. There's none today. And you know what? We're definitely going to be setting up and capturing images of this Bothy today. We could not do it the last time we were here. Again, because of the scaffolding, but we're definitely doing it today. So you know what? I'm so glad I actually picked this particular route so far anyhow to explore again today. Hey, absolutely amazing. Okay, let's find a spot and let's get set up. This is what you see. A lot of hikers could spend the night here. Or take a break here, take shelter from the weather here. There's a fire stove, a wood stove, so you can make it really quite comfortable. There's slate benches for sitting on. These wooden boards here, these are what the hikers would use with their sleeping bags as their bed. Here's a little view out of the window, and what you can see, or maybe not see out of the window, is Haystacks, where we're going. So yeah, we've been here before, we're here again. Awesome. Okay, so the composition. First of all, I've moved around in several different locations. I have found the composition that I like, the composition that I want to work with. The conditions. It's grey, it's rainy, it's extremely moody and atmospheric, which for this particular shot of this Bothy is absolutely perfect. With that said, if I can only capture one image today, I would be a very happy photographer if this was that image, because it's absolutely beautiful. And I just love what's going on here. So right now, this makes the day well worthwhile for me. We're on the tripod. Again, my Canon 5D Mark II. I did bring my 6D with me, but you know what? Because it's been pretty much rain all week, I've stuck with my 5D Mark II because of the weather sealing. We have the 24 to 70mm lens. I'm going to take the cap off. Excuse me. And now, because it is raining, we do have the hood on. Let me see now, we have an ISO of 100, f8. It's giving me 1/200th of a second. Let me check that. Yes, it is. Manual focus. 2-second timer. My God, that cold is just getting the best of me. 2-second timer, and there was my image. Let me just take one more of those. Okay, 2 images there at what my camera tells me is correctly exposed. Let's go to, come on, you can do it. Let's go to, let me see, I don't know. 2/3 of a stop or 1 full stop? You know what? Let's go with 1 full stop underexposed. Bracketed. Okay, fine. Let's go to a stop overexposed. There we go. So right there, I learned something new. Amazing. That caught me totally by surprise because I was totally under the impression that in manual mode I could not automatically bracket my shots, and yet it just did. I thought I had to be in, say, aperture priority or shutter priority. I just learned something. I'm definitely going to have to think about that because that just threw me right off guard that just happened. But anyhow, that's my image. You know, if we got anything out of that at all, poof, up it goes. Hey, the rain keeps coming, but you know what? I'm happy. I'm happy that I'm here right now. It's perfect. It's a perfect place to be. And you know, there's just nowhere else I'd rather be right now. My goodness. I am so blessed, so lucky sometimes. Hey, let's continue. Way in the distance, down at the bottom of this mountain range, there's a row of trees along the south shore of the body of water. That body of water is Buttermere. At the top end of that body of water to the right is the village of Buttermere, and then beyond that is Crummock Water. But those trees at the bottom or the south end of Buttermere, quite often you can capture some stunning images, I believe, along that tree line. I don't know how it'll work out today, but I'm actually hoping that I might be able to get down there and photograph that today. But that might be on the way back, I don't know. On the way back to my accommodations. We'll have to see how that works out. But right now, we continue heading towards Haystacks. Absolutely amazing trail through here. Rugged, barren. In a moment, as we come around the trail and then look to our left, we will see the Black Tarn. Really quite interesting. But it is amazing to be along here. These rocks are getting quite slippy. The temperature must be close to the freezing. It's wet, but it must be close to freezing. And below us is the Black Tarn. And you can probably see why it's called the Black Tarn, because it looks very black. I think that's from the black rocks and pretty much everything else around it, but right there is the Black Tarn. Wow. Looking to the north, the cloud layer, which we're pretty much reaching now. So we're going to see how we make out. Let's keep going. Along here, very kind of scrambly, rocky crags. Quite a challenge, with quite a steep drop below. So at this point, I'm just going to put this camera away for a little while, just so I have both hands for this trek. Okay. What a perfect little spot right here. And what a beautiful resting place this would make. It's said along this trail, if you get a little bit of grit in your boot, treat it with the utmost of respect, because that indeed could be Alfred Wainwright. Now, right here, Inanimate Tarn, I'll put the spelling and the correct name in a caption there. This is where Alfred Wainwright's ashes were spread. He wanted this to be his final resting place. What a beautiful place. Way, way, way up in the mountains. You can truly see and feel why Alfred Wainwright would want to rest here. My goodness. What an adventure today. Huh. What an adventure. So right now, we're at the last, oh boy, I'm dropping my gloves. We're at the last few feet to crest the summit of Haystacks. And I just, if I can just, oh my God, get up here. It's just, this last little bit's just a little bit of a scramble. But hey, right here, the summit of Haystacks. You can see the marker right there. Absolutely amazing. We're right at the bottom of the cloud layer. Absolutely stunning, amazing. This is where we set out to come. You can see Buttermere in the, hang on a minute, I'm not sure if that's Buttermere. No, I don't believe that is. I think that's Cremaquarter that you can see over there, or not. But you know what? Doesn't matter. What a magnificent place to be today. Haystacks. Yeah. Oh. Okay. Now, great. What I noticed coming up here, there are a couple of locations back on that trail that I want to photograph. I think we're getting, it's raining again, constant rain. Excuse me, gotta wipe that face. It's almost like that Ashmere stuff where, but it's not. Anyhow, as I was saying, there's a couple of spots going back down the trail, back down the mountain to the Honister Pass that I wanted to photograph coming up. Light wasn't great at that point. Don't know if it'll be great on the way back down. But you know what? I'm going to just grab a couple of handheld shots from up here just as a recollection of being here. But in all truthfulness, the cloud is right here and it's raining. So there's really nothing to set up the tripod for. But a couple of handheld shots will be fine. And then we're going to start back down and let's see what happens. Now, whilst I'm up here at the top of this mountain, I decided just to take a break, eat a granola bar, drink a little coffee. So I set up my Fujifilm XP130, just kind of hooked onto my tripod there, to shoot a time lapse for us. Now that may be quite interesting. Oh, nose keeps running. Anyhow, so I'm going to take a break before setting up back down. and we'll shoot that time lapse. My goodness. I know I'm not on the top of the world, but it sure feels like it. Okay. Now, for the last week, I have been taking my little Fujifilm XP 130 out of its case, shooting a time lapse, and putting it back in its case. It has been doing a phenomenal job. I'm very happy with it. But not once in that time did I think, maybe this little camera's got to eat. Maybe it's got to be refueled. Maybe I should charge the battery. What was I thinking? Every day I charge drone batteries, GoPro batteries, camera batteries, but I never once thought about charging my XP 130. Cut a long story short, if we got any time lapse back there on the peak of this mountain, it might be a second or two's worth because it just ran out of power. But I do have the drone with me. It has stopped raining. Well, it's reduced its raining a little bit. Let's just see if we can get this drone up for a few minutes and see if we can put it up over Alfred Wainwright's tarn. Whew. Now, I kind of like the look of that Bothy from here, handheld with my Sigma 70 to 200. A couple of handheld shots. Let's see if we get anything out of that. And if we do, we'll put one up right now to look at. Yeah. We're getting there. Nice cup of coffee at the bottom of this mountain. Great. Wow. This is my last day here in the magnificent Lake District. I have no idea if I'll ever be back here again. I hope so. But it becomes increasingly harder to come here. Everything's getting so expensive, it's difficult. But I'm going to enjoy every moment of today. Okay, let's keep going. Almost back at the beginning of the hike at the parking area for the mine. There is a coffee shop there, so if it's open, we're going to grab a coffee. It's been a lot of fun today. There hasn't been a lot of kind of on the tripod photography. Weather conditions and so on just really did not allow for it, especially with that low cloud. It just kind of obscured a lot of the overall landscape images that I would have liked to have tried to capture today. But anyhow, having said that, it's been a blast. We did reach the summit of Haystacks. Great. You know what? I think we're going to call it a wrap right there. Let's finish on a positive note. So we got the drone up. That's good. Time lapse. Not so good. Let's kick back with that coffee and let's look at a couple of images from today. Gary here with Gary Klein Photography. Do not forget, give me a like, a share, leave a comment, do subscribe. We'll talk to you next time. Bye-bye. you.